Should governments, in fact, forget about cutting this massive debt they have and just spend even more of this borrowed money to get us moving? You see, money now is so cheap, the interest rates near zero, and the Reserve Bank says that's going to stay the case for years. Joining me is the country's top finance guru, Terry McCrann of the Herald Sun. Terry, thanks for joining me. First, Victoria. For Victoria to have this virus outbreak is terrible news for the whole Australian economy, isn't it?
Well, it's not a good thing, Andrew, because of the reaction at the political level than the reality of that outbreak. We're not really talking about a second wave. When you test thousands of people and you're getting 17 or 16 positives, and some of them might be false positives, as we saw with that Essendon player, this is not a big number. I mean, one of the things it tells us, there are probably a lot of people that are hypochondriatic out there. They think they've got the virus and they don't. But it's the reaction from government and we've seen Daniel Andrews wind back the freeing up. So that's where it has an economic impact if it delays the removal of the lockdown, because we cannot keep this entire economy, even the entire state economy, locked down, and we certainly don't want to go back to the extreme lockdown that you talked about.
Well, it's come at a very handy time politically for him, of course, because since he's wound back the whole thing and beefed up the scares, no one's talking at all about last week's scandal, the branch stacking scandal, the sacking, the loss of 3 ministers. Who remembers that now? Now, Terry, we've
coincidental.
Absolutely, purely coincidental.
With the emphasis on the word purely.
Well, I put, what, air quotes around it or what? I don't know. Terry, we've got... something's going to change. We've got huge unemployment, and I don't think that's going away for a long time now. We've got absolutely massive government debt. That won't be repaid in my lifetime or yours. We've got low interest rates that absolutely hammer people who were good enough to save for their own retirement. And we've got another 4 million Australians put on handouts, the dole and JobKeeper allowances, et cetera, et cetera. How do you think this crisis is going to change this country?
It's going to change it in ways we really can't predict, Andrew, because self-evidently we've never been in this situation before. We've never been in a situation where the government forces the economy deliberately into recession, and not just a mild recession, it's the worst recession we've had since the Great Depression. Deliberate actions by government have done that, and at the same time they've embarked on this massive spending. They have slammed on the brakes and they have gunned the accelerator. Again, that's something we've never had before. And the way we're going to come out of this, and where we come out to, is going to be somewhat a place we've never been in before. And we don't, take one example. I mean, it's hard. We will remove the lockdowns at some point domestically, but I will think it's going to be a long, long time before we resume unlimited or even significant international travel.